What is the meaning of life? I think it's a great question. It's a great question. We used to always say like, wow, there was this one answer that was kind of like everyone's cliche, like, it was, what is the meaning of life? Well, the meaning of life is to give life meaning, right? And I used to believe in this answer for like the longest time, until a few years ago, I saw this video from Alan Watts. That was the pursuit of pleasure. And it really changed everything for me. It helped a lot with anxiety, depression. I mean, it was just a whole mindset shift. But he goes on this idea of like people desire, and they desire. And, they want more money, they want more power, they want more experience that comes with the money and the power. And a lot of it is chase. They're always chasing for the new desire, the new thing. They live life based on all of these different desires. And he talks about it, and he says, like a man with all the money or all the power in the world is a man that can only live in the past. And to be able to control every aspect of your future is the ability to predict the future. And if you knew what was going to happen, there'd be no point in going to find out. And that just like fucking rocked me, right? I was like, he makes a good point. So when we ask the question, like, what do you desire? So many people say, I don't know. And it was this I don't know that was like, I feel like it lights fear in people. It sparks some sort of fear of not knowing what they desire or not knowing what's going to happen next. And the more he talks about it, the more he realizes that every good memory in your life was always a surprise. It felt like some sort of surprise to go on living into those moments when you really feel alive. It was this surprising feeling. And the more he talks about it, the more you start to understand that I don't know is not a bad answer. It's the best answer. But it's so good. It's not I don't know. It's I know not. I don't know what's going to happen next, but that's why I wake up and find out every single day, and that excites me. The excitement of not knowing what's going to happen. That's why you keep watching the movie. That's why you keep reading the book. You don't know what's going to happen next. You have to find out. Your life is that movie. Your life is that book. You wake up every single day not knowing what's going to happen, and that thought alone excites me. It's not about the money, about the power, about what I have, what I want to get, what I might take, what I might give. It's not about any of that. It's simply just living and finding out. Now I can control and I can guide myself down a certain path that will give me better surprises, but it's really all about that surprise. It's all the surprise. It's interesting. The more he goes into it, eventually you get to a point where you start discussing Devil's Inferno. If you're biblical, then you know about Devil's Inferno. But the way he explains it was this idea that if you look back at, I think it was ancient Greece or ancient Rome, one of the two, I don't remember. But they used to live in these luxurious, lavish lifestyles. And there were public baths. There was all the money in the world. Everyone was living in a paradise, so to speak. And they got so used to the luxury that nothing excited them anymore. Nothing gave them a new sense of life. It got boring. Everything was so beautiful and so luxurious that their lives got boring. So what do? Well, they start opening up arenas where they can watch, lions kill people, tear people up. They put people in a giant a ring to fight to the death. And they watch these people slaughter themselves because it was the only thing that would excite them anymore. It was the only thing that gave them some sort of a feeling, some sort of excitement, some sort of surprise. And so he talks about this theory of heaven and hell. And he realized that we look at all of these different things where, they did so many, we look back at it now and it's just this ugly, ugly, vicious, monstrous events. And they did such evil things. And so they're going to hell. And the more he thinks about it, the more he realizes that hell was probably the one place they wanted to be. Because life was so free, so open, so luxurious that the only thing they had left to experience, the only thing that would trigger their surprise was pain. That's what it was. It was pain. It was pain. It was brutality. These gruesome acts of violence. It was pain. So when we talk about the idea of Devil's Inferno, the way he describes it is that the people that went to heaven were the people that wanted to go to heaven, and the people that went to hell were the people that wanted to go to hell. Because it's what you have left to desire. It's what you have left to experience. So many people that go through life with these hardships and these challenges, they have the room to experience surprise with the good. They have experience. They have room to experience the surprise of blessings, something positive in their life. But when you're so corrupt by having everything you want, the only thing you have left to live for, the only thing that's new, is pain. So it was that thought that kind of grounded me a little bit and made me realize that I don't need to chase and chase and chase and chase, because then we end up into the paradox of you chase and you chase. Once you have, then what? What comes next? Oh, then I'll chase something else. You spend your whole life chasing, but you never took a moment to actually enjoy the experiences you went through. The moment of what's going on right now, you were never present. You were always living in the past, or you were living in the future. For most of us that struggle and don't have very much, we live in the future. For those that have too much, they live in the past. And for those that don't care about the difference between the future or the past, they just have what they have and they live to live. They live in the present. And when you live in the present, you spend every day enjoying something new. Because every day is a surprise. Every day is a gift. So I want to speak to the people that are lost right now. You're lost because you're maybe in a place that is less than ideal in your life. And you have to understand that despite whatever it is you're going through, the basic principle that you are alive is the opportunity to experience something new. And you get to decide what that new is. Through work, time, guidance, perseverance, direction, you can define that direction. You can write your own story. So yes, things suck. Life sucks. Life's a bitch. Life's a storm. It's a storm. We can't escape. We can't run from it. We can't hide from it. It's a storm. But when you're in a storm, when you're inside a tornado, a hurricane that you know you can't escape, you don't try to run from it. That's a death sentence. You build a better house. You build a better person. See, I got to a point in my life where, from my own experience, life was going to hit me with curveballs whether I liked it or not. And I would spend so much time focusing on bulletproofing my life, and it was a waste of time. You can't bulletproof life. Life is going to take shots at you anyways. So maybe I don't need to bulletproof life. Maybe I learn to bulletproof myself. If I know life is going to give me these challenges, and I know life is going to give me these hardships, then maybe I just need to be a stronger person, more equipped, more experienced, more knowledgeable to manage and deal with these different situations. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's all kind of falls back in the same category. You know, we look at, maybe we don't have the job we want right now. We're stuck in the, mundane cycle of the same shit every day, and you hate your job. You hate your job. You can work to get out of it. You can find a different job. You can change the game. Why do we make so many rules that just don't apply to us? I mean, there's a great example of this. Someone said, Every time I run the dishwasher, the dishes come out dirty. And then I have to wash them by hand. And it's just a hassle. It's just extra stress. It's bullshit. And this therapist says, why don't you just run them again? Just fucking run the dishwasher again. It's like, oh, no shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. We live inside all of these different societal rules that don't even fucking apply to us. They don't apply. Just make up your own rules. Sure, we have laws, you know, if we're trying to get extreme here, we have laws we have to follow and certain moralities. But the little things, how many little rules are you following every single day for no reason? No reason at all. No reason at all. Do you really have to do this? Do you really have to do that? If you don't do this, if you don't do that, are there repercussions? And if there are repercussions, are they even your fucking problem? That's a big one. That's a big one. So I feel like a lot of people nowadays are givers, right? Which is good. It's good. But they give to a point where it becomes toxic. They give so much to everyone else, they never give themselves. They don't give anything to themselves. And when you don't give anything to yourself, you have nothing left to give anyone else. And now you're just a machine running on spare parts. You're exhausted. You have to give to yourself. There's a certain sense of being selfish that makes you selfless. When I'm selfish enough to make sure I have everything to give somebody else, is it selfish or is it selfless? Is it really that bad for me to make sure I'm taking care of myself so much so that I can take care of somebody else? Is that such a bad thing? Is it bad to take care of myself so much that I can not only take care of somebody else, but really give them the best I have to offer? Who am I to be somebody that won't give the best version of myself to others? What's selfish is going around the world giving everybody your 20%, because that's all you have left. That's selfish. Because you have certain things you could be doing to improve your life that you refuse to do. Because it is easier to give to other people when you don't have much to give. It's easier to hand out change. It's hard to hand out $100. Bum, bum, bum. That was a big one right there. Put that on a fucking t-shirt. I think a lot of people use the idea of I give so much to other people that I never give to myself as it's an excuse. Oh, I'm a good person. I just give all my energy to somebody else. You're not giving them very much because you don't have much to give. Oh, but I'm a good person. Are you? Are you? Maybe a better person is someone that says no in order to take care of themselves. Because if I take care of myself, I have more to give. And when I do give people stuff, it's better. It's better. They get more love from me. They get more compassion, more focus, more attentiveness. Life's an interesting game, man. There was, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but I think it was St. Louis. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. But there was a homeless man that was basically executed. He was shot in the back of the head in broad daylight. And in this video, you see this man spend 30 minutes to unjam his pistol. Someone's filming from inside a restaurant or something. And eventually, when the pistol finally unjams, he just, like it's nothing, just shoots the man in the back of the head. The homeless man practically knew what was going on. I don't even think he knew the man was there until the very last second. Then what do people do? We argue. We argue about fucking politics. You voted for him. You voted for him. More gun control, less gun control. Like fucking arguing, bitching, bickering, battling. For what? You can vote, and that's fine. Vote for what you believe in. Vote for what you want to support, and you might make change. That's great. That's a great thing. To be a part of that community, to be a part of the politics in your country. That's great. But if you want to make a difference, stop being so fucking lazy. Voting is easy. It's hard to raise good kids. You want to make a real difference, raise some decent fucking human beings. Be a good father. Be a good mother. That shit is hard. But you say, oh, I'm a good person because I vote. I vote. I watch the world burn, but I vote. That's not my fault. I didn't vote for that. You lazy son of a bitch. You gotta teach your kids about leadership, about love. And if you don't know, figure it the fuck out. Because if you don't solve your own problems, they become your kids' problems. And your kids don't deserve your fucking problems. They're gonna have problems of their own. Not only are they gonna have to solve their own problems, but now they gotta solve your problems that you instilled in them when they were fucking babies. You think they choose to pick up your bad habits? You think they choose to pick up your insecurities? You think it's just cards on the table and they're just selecting which ones to take and which ones not to take. It doesn't work like that. It's like a language. The first language, they just pick it up. The world wants to make change. Change happened 30 years ago. Change happened 30 years ago when in the culture that man was raised in the values he was taught, the morality he was given and chose to live by. You think that baby decided he wanted to murder someone 20, 30 years later? I'm not saying he's a good person. No, he is not a good person. But what I am saying is, as a society, you want to make a change. It starts with the parents. It starts with how we raise our kids, what we teach them. The change we will see in 30 years starts now. Starts right now. What kind of parent are you? What kind of parent do you want to be? If you're not a parent, are you ready to be one? When your kid comes to you with problems about depression, about anxiety, about heartbreak, are you going to have answers? And if you do have answers, are they right? Have you ever thought to maybe question yourself? Have you ever thought maybe I need to know more? Maybe I need to learn more? Gotta be a good parent. And it all comes back to who you are as a person, who you fall in love with, who you choose to marry, who you choose to have kids with. And I feel like that is a social construct we take way too lightly nowadays. That stuff is important. That is very, very, very important. Because the mistakes you choose to let slide, the problems you choose to avoid, they don't go away. You just pass them down onto your children, and they don't deserve that. They do not deserve that. It is not a privilege to be a good parent. It is your fucking obligation. You got it. You got it. I know you guys got it. All right. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day at work. Again, I hope someone's listening to this in the morning. I say that every time, but honestly, I can't imagine someone's driving to work and they're like, fuck yeah, podcast. I don't know. That would mean the world to me. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Please comment down below what you thought. Topics, stuff like that. As I always say, I don't know if this is for me or for you, but I hope it helps somebody. So, much love. God bless. I will see you in the next one. Deuces.